more than 3,500 black cavalrymen were stationed at Camp Lockett. Camp Lockett was later converted to a prisoner of war camp and then a convalescent hospital until it officially closed in 1946. Since then, the stable buildings have been used as a school and later a vehicle repair shop. Other former camp buildings currently include Campo's fire station, sheriff's station, and the former Rancho del Campo juvenile facility. And it was in 2009 the State Historical Resources Commission voted unanimously to designate Camp Lockett a California historical landmark. The unique opportunity to convey this surplus county property was presented following the closure of the old Rancho del Campo juvenile facility. The community's vision for Camp Lockett has been to establish an historical park with exhibits and trails that would tie in with other attractions in Campo, including the Pacific Southwest Railway Museum, Motor Transport Museum, and the Mountain Empire Historical Society, which includes the Gastel Brothers Stone Store Museum. The action today will provide the community with an immense opportunity and also a responsibility that goes along with it, and we're hopefully beginning that process today. This has been over a year to reach the action that's before the board, and sometimes it was a very long and arduous and difficult task for all involved, but the ultimate goal was always kept in mind, and our eye was on the ball. First and foremost, I want to thank the nonprofits for taking on such a big responsibility. Thank you to Judith Chaplin with the Mountain Health and Community Services, Superintendent Kathy Granger with the Mountain Empire Unified School District, Jim Lundquist, Diana Hyatt with the Pacific Southwest Railroad Museum. Also critical to the process were the co-chairs of the Camp Lockett Interest Group, Larry Johnson with the Mountain Empire Historical Society, and Carl Calvert with the Motor Transport Museum. A big thank you also to Cliff Northcote with the Camp Lockett event and equestrian facility. Jean Vick and Sharon Haven, and that equestrian facility is alive and well and up and running. Equally important is the time and effort that has been put in on this by county staff. And a big thank you particularly goes out to April Hines, Adam Weinberg, Craig Gibson with the Department of General Services, Joe Ferracci with the Planning and Development Services. Each one of you has been involved from the very beginning and has spent countless hours on this project. Also want to thank Sarah Gassie and also our luge team of Mark Wardlaw, Jim Bennett with PDS, Brian Albright, Scott Hoover with Department of Park and Recreation, Rich Compton, Terry Rayback, Dan Brogadier with Department of Public Works. Also a thank you to Todd Henderson with Housing Community Development, and even Tom Montgomery with County Council. As you can see, and by noting not just the history and all of the individuals that came together on this action that's before us today, it's touched almost every group and department in one way or another. It's an immense opportunity for the Campo County and for the Campo community and for the region, and I look forward to seeing this historical significance of Camp Lockett become a reality for generations to come. So thank you to all who have been involved, and if we could add that also to the consent agenda, I think that that may satisfy all that have come here to witness this day and be a part of it. Thank you.
Recognizing this is on the consent calendar, is there any of those who feel compelled to speak knowing that it's on the consent calendar? Don't miss this opportunity, Catherine.
Yes. I was going to say, I love the project. That sounds so great. And, you know, one of the reasons why it's the surplus property is not just being sold to the highest bidder was because there was a change in the law of Government Code Section 54220 that basically says if you have surplus property, you're supposed to use it first for affordable housing, then for community, which this seems to be. And so I would actually ask if you could have some type of affordable housing here. And what I was thinking of is the tiny home movement. And you can, Housing and Community Development Information Bulletin 2016 that came out. the city of San Diego is not incorporating it into their municipal code, but if the county can, we could show that tiny homes is actually sustainable. It'll actually be very good. And then the other issue is that in San Diego, they are saying that this government code that exists doesn't apply to them somehow, that they could sell all their property they want to for as much money as they want. And so what I would request, if maybe you could send me to the chief administrative officer, so I could show her where the city is selling these properties when they should be used for affordable housing or for the community. And there's so much opportunity, and especially if you can use this law, or when San Diego says that they're going to have surplus property, maybe you guys could say, hey, we want that property. That would be great. And then that way you could have all these great properties that are just being sold to the highest bidder. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, very briefly, the individual that was speaking just now has not been a part of this process. There's going to be a zoning overlay in regards to this property too, and that will be a process that will take place as a follow-up. So how that's going to end up, I don't think any of us know, but the groups coming together is really significant at this point, as well as county staff.